Hey everybody, it's Matt. I thought I'd talk here about my Dinobot deck from Wave 1 of Transformers. Wave 2 is just about to drop soon, so I figured I'd make a quick video and talk about the decks that I ran during Wave 1. Now, it's pretty well known that where I'm at here in Canada, we did not get the set until late December of this year, while everywhere else seemed to get it earlier in the fall. So this is what we kind of cooked up. There are probably similar decks out there, as Dinobots do have a very specific build where they run very specific cards. So either way, if it's similar or you have any suggestions or edits, I'd love to hear them, especially, like that, as this is mostly just for fun. And let me know down below, or, whichever. Anyways, here we go. So if you're watching this video, you probably know what the characters do. So we're going to kind of just go over a quick overview over them so you can kind of get a heads up. So Snarl, Grimlock, and Dinobot Sludge are the ones who are going to be working in this pair. Snarl, you can see his stats here. When you flip to this mode, you have 0 cards in hand, draw 2 cards. Grimlock's ability, also to note, he is a leader. When you flip to this mode, one of your Dinobots gets bold 3 until end of turn. And Sludge, when you flip to this mode, move any number of your damage counters from your other Dinobots to this one. That'll be important later when we talk about certain cards. When we flip them over, Sludge over here has, when one of your Dinobots attacks, repair 1 damage from it. Snarl has the ability, when this attacks, you may put a card from your hand on top of your deck. And when this does more than enough attack damage to KO an enemy, Grimlock, your opponent chooses one of their characters and puts the extra damage on it. Now this ignores defense, and it's just almost just like direct damage. So that's a brief overview of the characters. Let's take a look at the battle cards. Sorry about the glare here. These top decks are these top loaders. They glare like crazy. So either way, let's take a look at the deck. Just a second. All right, so let's take a look at the actions here. So obviously, we're going to be playing certain cards from the first wave. Oh, that's a little bit close, eh? So that are used for Dinobots specifically. And I've seen some of the decks that the guys at Wreck and Rule play, and someone mentioned to me that Vector Sigma had a pretty good deck too, but I don't really like to use other people's decks, so this is the one that I built, and if any similarities are just pure by chance. So let's go ahead and take a look. So Dino Chomp. We play 3 of them in this deck because what it does, there's very few blue pips in here, and it's going to come up to defend you when it does flip, but it's mostly there for the bold 5. You want to put this on Snarl or on Grimlock when you're attacking. Scrap your hand. One of your Dinobots gets bold 5 until end of turn. That's 5 more battle cards you're going to be flipping, and that's huge, especially if you're going into like a small defense character and Grimlock's going to be trampling over and you got another equipment on him. It's going to be great. So I play 3 in the deck. I suggest you should as well. Next is going to be I Still Function. Some people like Ready for Battle or Ready for Action, I think the card's called, but I think this is much better. I Still Function is a resurrection card. It returns one of your KO characters that has 12 or few stars to the battlefield. You then repair 1 damage from it, and at the end of the turn, KO it. So what this does is it lets you get back a character who's died. In correspondence with Sludge and Grimlock, let's say if Grimlock and Snarl have been taking damage from someone, and your Sludge has been KO'd and is currently in the discard pile in his bot mode. If you play I Still Function and bring Sludge back, and then flip him back to his alt mode, you can transfer all the damage counters that your other bots have, or other Transformer characters have accumulated right on a Sludge and insta KO him. So you could survive. You can get your characters back to full health. Or, for example, let's say you may want to swing with Grimlock again. It's a great card. Just watch the stars. You cannot use it on the big boys. So yeah, that's one thing to know. Next is Incoming Transmission. This is one of the very few draw aspects in the deck, so you're going to be needing it to set your hand up and also set up your next attack. Most times when you're attacking with Sludge, Snarl, you're going to be having the way to manipulate your deck and specifically put on a card on top from your hand on top of the deck, like an Improvised Shield or Peace Through Tyranny. But this will let you draw the extra card and set that up just in case. 3 of them, great card. Next is going to be Peace Through Tyranny. This is a very circumstantial card. A lot of people say that this is in the deck mostly due to the double orange pips, and I believe that it's true. Now, if you do get in this hand, remember that you can play it from your hand, at least to get it out of there if you don't have a way to put it on top. and just to discard it, like, because it says you may KO one of your characters. Sometimes going against a certain character, it may be worth it if you know that you can get that swinging with Grimlock and KO someone. It may be useful just, to if you get 3 characters left and you're going to KO them with Snarl and Sludge, it may be useful just to sacrifice that Sludge that you brought back. Good card. Next is Ramming Speed. I play 3 of them in this deck. I used to play Rollout, and I did play the other card that Rollout, and I also played I believe it was Emergency Maintenance, but I found it kind of useless. So I found Rollout to be, it's a great card, don't get me wrong, but for what I was wanting to do in this deck, I just didn't really need the flips as much as I thought I did. Ramming Speed helps me deal with those nasty force fields and other weapons and Energon Axes and things that give me a problem when you're fighting. Armor is this deck's biggest weakness, and especially when you're just about to attack and someone slaps a force field on, you have no way to remove it. This guy right here will get you through. And the last couple ones are kind of interchangeable. So Rapid Conversion, I mentioned before that I was playing Rollout. I find that with Rollout, you can really only flip back to the mode of car mode, of alt mode, and sometimes this has actually screwed me over with either poor planning or just perhaps the luck at the time. But I find Rapid Conversion fills that slot pretty well. You can run Rollout instead of this, but I feel that the specific one flipping of Rapid Conversion does the job for me. Also, it's a bit cheaper. But either way, you can try and change it up. And lastly, you're going to want to run some Supercharges. I originally did run 3 Supercharges in this deck, but I found that I really only needed the 1 or 2 because I was pulling lots of damage with the Dinobots Dino Chomp. So it's really up to you. You could also supplement one of the incoming transitions for a 3rd Supercharge if you feel that your deck's not getting enough bold out there. I feel that 2 is good enough. Next, we take a look at our actions. This card, the first card over here, has been kind of a speculation. I like to run between 2 to 3 Energon Axes, depending on how I'm playing or who I'm playing against that week, what deck I'm playing against. I'm not obviously going to change it before I play the deck, but depends on where I'm going and what type of game night's going to be there. I've been settled on 2 Energon Axes, mostly because that +3 damage is fantastic. When you send Sludge out the first turn, he gets hit by one of those bozos in every team. You're going to be able to go ahead and put an Energon Axe on there and have him do some massive damage when he gets a swing. Next is going to be Flamethrower. I run 3 in the deck. I was running Power Sword at first, but I just prefer the orange pip. It's just better to me. Flamethrower can go on almost all your characters. It can go on all your characters, where Power Sword, if you flipped it, you'd be getting a blue pip, and we really kind of want to go for a bold in this deck. It gives you bold 2, great little equipment. Next is Force Field. We run 3 of them in the deck. This is really the only protection you're going to get in the deck. There is no armor in this deck, and this is the only one that will be able to help you with that. It's there for the white pip trigger as well, and that comes down, blocks an attack from an Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend. Feels pretty good. Grenade Launcher, 3 of them. I run 3 Grenade Launchers because it's great to slap this on a Snarl or on a Grimlock and just KO someone. It feels fantastic. This is a card, if you don't know it, is +4 to your attack, and then once you're finished with your attack phase, you scrap it. We run 3 Improvised Shield. You're never going to want to play this on your character. This is a card that's going to be going to on top of your deck with incoming transmission or with Snarl. Never play this from your hand because you don't have enough blue in your deck to even protect yourself. So play it on top of your deck is the only way you want to do this. Jaws of Steel, 3 of them. Jaws of Steel is another utility. This is mostly going to go on Sludge and Snarl. You can put it on Grimlock, but you're going to want to save that for the last card coming up here. Jaws of Steel gives your character bold 2, which is pretty self-explanatory. Last but not least is going to be Matrix of Leadership. Matrix of Leadership is a good card. I've struggled with either putting this in or sacking it for some data pads. In the end, this is just a better card. Like, let's be real. It gives all your characters +1 to attack. It's got the orange and blue pip at the top. It gives them Pierce 1. And when it's on Grimlock, it's so good. You're going to want to run 3 in the deck. It's probably your best bet. Now, that is just a general layout of the cards in this deck. Now, as I said before, there has been probably more cards and better built decks out there, but this is the one I like to run, and it does pretty good. You can run some other cards in the deck, which I may actually mention. One of them is going to be, we'll show you them right here, just a moment. All right, so let's take a look at some alternate cards you can run in your deck if you don't have some of these ones here. So if you don't have any Energon Axes, you can try to run this card. This is going to be Power Sword. It's an uncommon. It gives your character Bold 3. Now, most of your characters are melee characters, so you're going to have a lot of actual ability to run this. I think there is a Dinobot that is range, but most of them are all melee. It's a great card. If you don't have Energon Axes, feel free to run Power Sword. It'll get the job done. Next is Multi-Mission Gear. Multi-Mission Gear will only ever go on Sludge, and it lets you play an action. You can play Multi-Tool, but this is a better defense pip for Sludge, which will actually help you defend against, like, ongoing attacks. And getting that nice action trigger to play after you play it, it can be great. Next is a few actions you might want to try. One is going to be Leap into Battle. Leap into Battle is another blue pip. This is very much one of those cards where if you feel that your decks are, they're getting a bit trounced by higher defense pip decks, and you want to kind of just break through the defense, Leap into Battle is a good choice to give your character +3. Next is going to be a strange one, which is going to be Photon Bomb. Photon Bomb does 2 damage to every character on the battlefield. When you're playing against bugs or one of these 4 wide decks with little wieners, these little weenie guys, they're not gonna be able to stand up to your bots, but their extra attacks may actually come through and do a little bit of damage. Playing Photon Bomb to smash them all for 2, and then having Sludge take all the damage from your other characters, it can be a good move. It's a little bit risky, but it's intestine right now for me. Ready for action. You don't have I Still Function. This is your card. Untaps one of your guys with 10 or less, and you attack. And last but not least is Zap. Zap is going to go ahead and finish off those characters that have 1 health left. It's an orange pip. It's a common. You know what it does. And so hopefully you did like this deck tech. It's pretty simple. It's no pro player type of deck, but I mean, I've done well with it. So anyways, I thought I'd leave off on a good note. I hope everyone opens all the good stuff for their next Wave 2 boxes. Mine will be coming in this month. I can't wait for it. Perhaps me and my girlfriend will be doing an unboxing on here. Either way, have a great day and a great weekend. Thanks so much, and this is Matt saying bye. Bye.